Why, hello, everybody. Um, I was just in watching MSNBC. I can't comment. I won't comment. You know I love MSNBC. How's everyone tonight? Good, I hope. In the 1620s back in Holland, every Dutchman sang a song. They had all the milk and all the honey. Those Dutch could do no wrong. That is until they fell in love with tulips, especially the more exotic breeds. From Amsterdam to Yonkers, the Dutch went totally bonkers, lusting for those tulip bulbs and seeds. The average Dutchman sensed a golden opportunity, a situation he could not ignore. You buy a tulip, it was not surprising, the tulip prices started rising. The tulip was in great demand. Suddenly the little tulip bulb was worth its weight in gold. Things had gotten out of hand. Now. The average Dutchman sensed the golden opportunity, a situation he could not ignore. You buy a tulip on a Monday morning. Next day you sell it for much more. Very quickly, tulip speculation markets did occur where people bought and sold with great abandon. People would do anything to raise a little cash, anything to get a hand at. Soon the Dutch economy was all tied up in tulips. Prices soared into the sky. People mortgage bought and sold. They bought and life cajoled. They would do anything to buy. Gotta buy some tulips. Quick. Where's the piggy bank? I gotta get one more tulip. We're gonna get rich, mate. Then one dreary winter morning, the purser rang the tulip market bell. Suddenly nobody wanted tulips anymore. Just like that, the market went to hell. Collapse, succumbed, disappeared, disintegrated, vanished. It was adios, avida, say goodbye. Suddenly nobody wanted tulips anymore. And no one really knew the reason why. The reason why. The present owners of the tulips sat there quite dumbfounded. Gee, what do I do now? I owe a lot of money for this box of dirty tulip bulbs, and the only thing I own is half a cow. The present owners owe the previous owners, who owed the previous owners. Liens and loans and IOUs prevailed. Now nobody had the cash to pay back what he owed, because the tulip market had completely failed. Had completely failed. So everybody started suing everybody else. What else could they do? Everybody started dragging everybody else to court. Those who escaped the wrath were few. And after 20 years of legal chaos, the courts in Holland finally decided tulip debts were null and void and nothing was collectible. And that was the solution they provided. They said, folks, it's over, finished, done. Let's all go back to square one. That's the deal. The song has now been sung. I don't care who owes you what, just go back to your little hut. Maybe scrape some fish, clean some dung. The Dutch were disappointed. Things had turned out much worse than they feared. While everybody chased around looking for dirty little tulip bulbs, the Dutch economy totally disappeared. Is there a moral to the story? Happy ending to our tale of woe. They learned a lesson. I really don't think so. Doesn't seem like, because greed intoxicates us so. I think the answer would be no. I think the answer would be no. I thought of that song today because I recorded it about 10 years ago, and it now plays constantly in the Tulip Museum in Amsterdam, Holland. I bet those people are so sick of that song they could die. You know how when something plays over and over again, it just drives you crazy. I'm thinking this, if I walked into that museum, they'd probably shoot me. I mean, they loved it at first, but it plays and plays and plays. And imagine some poor clerk over there listening to that song. And I did it as perfectly, it was done perfectly. A video and, oh boy. Anyway, good evening, folks. March 25th. Kay Green, Jan Greenspan. Hello from Boulder. Hi, Jan, from Boulder, Colorado. Yes, how are you doing? Good, good. The people on Facebook are checking in too. I can see them there. They're coming like crazy. People are home. They got nothing else to do. They've been watching coronavirus news all day, and they don't want to hear anymore. They want to see some bass player play the bass, try to remember his lyrics, and talk about other stuff. I was supposed to work with Mike Renzi and Carl Sloan this weekend. Today's what, Wednesday? Yeah, Friday and Saturday at Birdland. But like everything else, it got canceled. So that's what I'm doing. I'm staying home, trying to remember how to play the bass. I've listened to you try to tell me the reason that you're leaving. I really do care, but still I can't believe it, that you would really go away tomorrow or the next day. It seems like a silly story. Are you telling me about how you were going away to Acapulco? Someone's waiting for you with his arms open wide. It seems like a fable that only you're able to sit and dream up. Maybe it's really true, but I don't know you to be. I'm making up silly stories. I have to go on. So you are actually going to go and leave me lonely. Don't guess that I can change your mind about the future. It seems you got your mind made up, and this time I'm gonna lose you. It seems like a fable that only you'd be able to sit dream up. Maybe it's really true, but I don't know you to be. I'm making up silly stories. I happen to wonder if so you were actually going to go and leave me lonely. Don't guess that I can change your mind about the future. It seems you got your mind up, but this time I'm gonna lose you. Charlie Parker's Confirmation. I wrote some words to it quite innocently. Excuse me, there's a wheel in the way down here. I wrote the words, and then I had a co-publisher who decided she was going to call the Charlie Parker Publishing Company, whoever, I don't remember who that was, whoever that, and try to get publishing for that song with my lyric. And she did. I'm astounded. She did. So I don't know if Charlie knew it, but actually, just for my version of it, I had the publishing rights for my version of it. I don't own the rest to Charlie Parker's Confirmation. I'm sorry to tell you, but my version. And so far, it's been recorded by a couple people around the world. I run another do. Mom, I pray you won't go away till we get a chance to show you just how I feel about you. Mom, I pray you won't go away till I get a chance to show you just how I feel about you and all that you are. Are you my shining star who lights the heavens, who wants to take herself away? Oh no, into the world where she thinks you're gonna find it. Mom, I pray you want that. Oh, another one. Give me a break and do not take your eyes off that little white ball that sits right before you. If you do, you knock it in with wood, you may be in a sand trap, and you know the penalty on your next shot. You're like 3-0. It's so depressing when you really want to go and shoot a 73 or 77. Maybe someday go and shoot a 79. Then you'll have to concentrate and kill your peeper on the ball. Give me a break and make your back swing nice and easy. Try to be calm and do not attempt to kill it. Let the golf club do the work and do not swing the jerk and try to be tough and all. Cause if you take it nice and easy, be real smooth and be real greasy, then you will bet the golf ball and you're something. And brag to all your friends. Forgot that one too. She got publishing on all three of those songs from the Charlie Parker. That was obviously Confirmation, a butchered version of Confirmation. I can't remember all the words. It's been 15 years since I tried to perform that song. I'll do one that I know, actually. Somebody requested, oh yes, somebody requested this. If you really, really want to cause some problems, if you really, really want to cause some pain, simply go down to your local airport and try to put a base aboard a plane. Try to put a base aboard a plane. The trouble starts when you approach the terminal. You won't find a sky cap anywhere. Cause once they see the giant case in which you've packed your massive base, they tend to disappear into thin air. So by yourself you lug it to the terminal. Let out a big sigh of relief. The ticket lady looks at you in horror. She stares at you in disbelief. She says, you're not going to put that on an airplane. No, it's just too large, it's just too big. So you smile, but she doesn't think it funny. To her, you're just another sexist pig. She gets angry, calls her supervisor, who sees the base and goes into a swoon. And the ticket they decide on for the plane you want to ride on cost you more than a ticket to the moon. Nowadays, We must deal with security. They see the bass, they start to drool. They want to give the bass a colonoscopy. Those of you who laughed at that joke, you got it. Those of you who didn't laugh at the joke, you'll get that joke someday. You struggle to be cool. This is not the time for getting angry. No, no, no. This is not the time to cause a scene. This is when you must turn into Gandhi, calm and placid and serene. Better yet be Obi-Wan Kenobi. Use the Force to get him into line. Tell him, do not worry about the bass. It will be no problem with the bass pass through. It will be fine. If you really want to cause some problem, if you really want to cause some pain, simply go down to your local airport and try to put the bass aboard and try to put the bass aboard, try to put a bass aboard and try to put the bass aboard, try to put a bass aboard a plane. Yeah, all right. All right. Time to check in. See who's been naughty and who's been nice. Okay, Green. All ears. All ears. Okay. Okay. Kim here from Texas. Jan is my bro. Isn't that something? I'm still working, but now I have entertainment. Salapie was my first all-digital CD. That was a long time ago. I tell the story. I tell the story about the Salamander Pie in that it was at one time number 6 on the jazz sales list, because at that point there was about 4 jazz CDs out. So I was number 6. And then I was living high for about a month. Then when the next Cash Box, it was an old magazine, came out, an old music magazine came out, I found I had been wiped off the list, and Miles Davis was now number 1. I wasn't on the list anymore at all. So then I happened to be playing with Mel Torme up at Saratoga, and Miles' group had just played and was just walking off the stage. I said, "Hey, Miles, how are you? Jay Leonhart." He goes, "Hi." I said, "Man, you just knocked my my CD off the top 10 jazz list." He went, "Oh man, I'm sorry about that." I mean, he was very sincere. He was sincere about that. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to do that." So that was my time with Miles. Salamander Pie, yeah, that, and what did I have to do with it? Yeah, it was a good selling album. It sold a lot of records, actually, because it was very early. It was very early on in the story. You know, hey, Fred, there's so many, so nice. Red, hi, Tomoko, what are you making? Are you making anything good, Tomoko? Kristen Zito, hi, Kristen. Nick Nabe, hi, Nikki. Aaron Weinstein is watching. Practicing his violin. Aaron Weinstein is one of the great jazz violin players. I played with his predecessor, Stuff Smith, when I was about 19 years old. Tomoko, hi. Ned White is watching. Jazz Party. Yes, John Mathis is watching. Warren Oates, you fool, you can't get enough. Dave Mullen, hey, Dave. What are you doing? Dave, a great saxophone player. We used to play at the, what's the name of that place? the Lexington Hotel until suddenly they're not doing it anymore. I don't know why they're not doing it anymore. I don't understand that. Sounds great. Oh, thank you, Davey. Kate Coran is watching. Lisa Avery is watching. She thinks she's, what's the word she used? She'll tell me. Voyeur. She said she thought she was like a voyeur, and she probably is. Hi, Bob. Reply, at least, now see, now people are starting to talk to each other. Just talk quietly because audio video sync seems excellent. Well, that's good. That's good. I'm glad to hear it. Replying to Warren, he's busy. Hi, it's Aaron Weinstein. Warren, everybody's talking to everybody else. I could just walk out for a while and nobody'd know the difference. So the great Roy Vogt, Stephen Benson, Ted Rainey, Chris DiGirolamo is watching once again. Chris Pazin, Janice Siegel. Ooh. It's nice. And don't worry, I'll get back to it in a second. I just want to see everybody who's watching. Gilberto Guajardo is watching. Tomoko Onofarm, clap. Thank you, Tomoko. Bob Albanese is watching. Don't be lonely, Bob. We love you. Now, Aaron, you get your own channel. No, stay here. Bob, Aaron Weinstein's working the room is what he's doing. He's saying hello to everybody. He's going to get all those gigs. Meanwhile, I'll be home doing this silly show, which is, of course, fun for me to do. Aaron Weinstein, what's he say? Who wrote the lyric? I write the lyric. Everything I sing, I write the lyric to. Oh, just about. Dave Gray is watching. Mara Hema. Max Boleman is watching. Jim McCurdy. Jim. Marcy Beck is watching. Marcy. You know, I'm going to play the song, Marcy, that one of the songs that Joe and I recorded together. And I always play his ending, and it always moves me. So I'm going to play it right now, just because you're watching, and that's that. Marcy Beck was Joe Beck's wife. Joe left us, I guess seems like it's about 12 years ago now or something like that, probably more. This song was written because my wife made an announcement to me after about 22 years of marriage that shook the ground, and I'll explain it to you. She broke it to me gently over breakfast. She told me as we sipped our tea. I sat there dumbfounded at what she was telling me. How come this subject never came up? How come this subject stayed concealed? The woman who I married saw the Dodgers play at Ebbets Field. You must understand that as a boy from Maryland, I never saw no major league teams. To have sat beside her watching Reese and Cox and Snyder would have been the answer to my dreams. How come this subject never came up? How come this subject stayed concealed? The woman who I sleep with saw the Dodgers play at Ebbets Field. Saw the Dodgers play at Ebbets Field. I remember summer nights I'd turn off the bedroom lights, lay my little head down on the pillow. I'd listen to the Dodger games. I knew all the Dodger names, guys like Reese and Cox and Carl Furillo. How come this subject never came up? How come this subject stayed concealed? The mother of my children saw the Dodgers play. She could see them every day. Saw the Dodgers play. She only lived a mile away. Saw the Dodgers play at Ebbets Field. And here's Joe's ending. Yeah, it's true. I like to ask audiences, back when there were audiences, how many people actually saw the Dodgers at Ebbets Field? And the number's decreasing, folks. It's getting less and less. But still, people bravely raise their hands. Now, I saw the Giants play at the Polo Grounds when I first moved to New York, and I think it was 61 or 60, maybe 63. I think they were there for 2 or 3 years after that. Then they split. And but I never saw the Dodgers. But I really did used to listen to them in Baltimore on the radio. And I loved it. Loved the Dodgers. Roy Campanella and all those. That whole bunch. Don Newcomb and like Carl Furillo and Gil Hodges and Pee Wee Reese. We go on and on. Hear that story was worth the price of admission. Oh, I see. Oh, yeah. Well, I guess it was. Seeing as I was free, I guess it was worth the price. What are you saying? It's worthless? No. It's still number one in our list of classics. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Marcy, did you like that? I hope you liked it. Jean Michael Resser, Beethoven. Somebody named Beethoven is watching. I need an explanation of that Beethoven. It's quite simple. Pam Munter, Linda Chiafalo, John Donnelly. Hi. Hi, gang. Gary Anderson. Oh, he's watching. Las Vegas must be. Oh, I get it. You're stuck at home and you don't really can't get out. Of course you. You're like me. You can't get out. Antoinette Montague. All right. I vote for confirmation to find its way back into the trio repertoire. All right. Or the quartet repertoire when you're playing with us. I'm telling you. Thank you, Aaron. I'm kidding. I'm taking you seriously and I'm kidding at the same time. David Chet Williamson Sneed is watching. David Chet Williamson Sneed. Well, how about that? Joe Strasser. Joe, we were supposed to work tomorrow night. Forget it. Benjamin Hankel is watching. Oh, there's so much. Kaj Leonhart Peterson is watching. Really? Spelled the same way as me? Jennifer Vincent. Hi, Jennifer. How are you? Kaj Leonhart. Do. Zach Schwartz. Hi, Zach. Julie Usby. How are you, Julie? Hope you're well. Hope Paris good. Joe Sarver. Look at everybody. Oh boy. Nikki Parrott. Oh, I better want to be careful. She's watching. I better sing a tune. I'll tell you, Nikki, my range is getting a little lower. I'm having trouble with the high notes I used to have. I just don't seem to be able to have them anymore. All right, well, Nikki's. I'll get away from this. Hey, Catherine Markey. My gracious. Well, hi, sweets. How are you? Good. All right, let's do something else. All right, here's one. I haven't tried to do this by myself, but I know the song well, so fear not. But no, this is a song that I wrote because my children, well, when I was a kid, oh, no, I'll tell the short version of it. It's, I loved Robert Ludlum novels in the 90s. I actually read them. And I even have a bookmark now, which I want to show you my bookmark, which we hand out at performances. It's, I don't know if this comes backwards or not. But it's a bookmark that we put, see, but you have to own a book. We give them away, but it doesn't work on an iPad. It just, if you're reading and it just doesn't make it. So you need a book. I was reading books. I'm still reading books. And Robert Ludlum was one of my favorite authors. And so I decided I needed to write. And the kids had just gone away with Steely Dan, so I had Steely Dan on my mind. And I decided I'd write a Robert Ludlum mystery novel in the spirit of Steely Dan, but with just bass. I don't know if Steely Dan's going to actually come through or not. It might just not. But just imagine the whole crew around. Please don't pull the trigger. Please don't. Oh, no, I didn't tell you what this song's about. It's about a mystery novel. It's very important that you know that it was a mystery novel like Robert Ludlum, and it's very complicated. It's a travelogue, takes you all around the world, which is very important. And most of all, the hero gets the girl at the end of the book, which I always found to be urgent, very important. Please don't pull the trigger. Please don't shoot me dead. I will be no use to you with a bullet in my head. Please don't pull the trigger. I'll tell you all I know. I left the money down in Mexico. Down in Mexico. I was in Helsinki when you first met with Svetlana. I was in Nairobi when the fools they called you Juana. I was in Rio on the day that you got shot. I watched the bullets dancing off your yacht. I was in Bermuda when you sailed to the reef. I shot the boat full of the men so hell-bent on your grief. But now the hangman has his evil eyes on you. He knows about the party in Peru. Change the color of your eyes. Pack up all your lies. Put on your disguise and get the hell out of here. I say in your behalf, they've got your polygraph. They know all about your life, so get the hell out of here. Out of here. Please don't pull the trigger. Please don't shoot me dead. I will be no use to you with a bullet in my head. Please don't pull the trigger. I'll tell you all I know. I gave the blueprints to an Eskimo. To an Eskimo, Major 7. To an Eskimo. I was in New York riding in your limousine, doing all your dirty work so quiet and unseen. You go to Harlem and you do the dumbest thing. You shoot the man who wears the diamond ring. Hudson River barges full of diamonds, full of lies. Hudson River barges full of vermin, full of flies. So I negotiate, somehow you escape before they squash you like a grape. Change the color of your eyes. Pack up all your lies. Put on your disguise and get the hell out of here. Carlos has a plan. He's a very evil man. Like they say at Steely Dan, you better get out of here. Out of here. out of here. Please don't pull the trigger. Please don't shoot me dead. Please don't move a muscle now. Please don't turn your head. Cause in the corner with his sights right between your eyes sits Carlos in disguise. Carlos in disguise. See his evil look, see his dirty stare. Falling on your knees and beg, he does not really care. I'm sorry for the double cross, but money talks, you know. And now I must be off to Mexico. And then to a rendezvous in Tokyo. And by the way, Svetlana says hello. Svetlana says hello. The double cross. The double cross. It's hard to remember the words when you're having to be the piano and the drums besides the bass. I realized that. It would be so much easier if I didn't have to play so much. But what the hell? That's the double cross. And I forget why I even played it now. Why did we play it? I don't know. I don't remember why I decided to play that song. Brilliant song, Jay. Love this Steely Dan vibe. Yeah, man. Yeah, well, if you can hear Steely Dan with Vito Leschek playing drums behind me, all of a sudden it comes alive. And with Tomoko Ono wailing away, she's wonderful. You want to get look up Tomoko Ono on YouTube or wherever. Listen to some of her music. She's a great, great piano player. Here's a song that has been recorded a lot by various people because it's the simplest song I ever wrote. And therefore, people are quite willing to do it. Most of my songs are way too complicated for anybody, especially for me. But this one was... Me, oh my, I've got myself a problem. Yes, indeed, I absolutely do. Me, oh my, I've got myself a problem. And my problem is you. Don't you know I never saw it coming with this feeling? Something kind of snuck up from behind. Me, oh my, I've got myself a problem. I must have been blind. You and I were taking it so easy. We were gonna be good friends. Walking, talking, nice and light and breezy, but that's not where the story ends. Cause now you see, I can't stop thinking about you. Won't somebody tell me what to do? Me, oh my, I've got myself a problem. And my problem is, I do need to. You and I were taking it so easy, we were going to be good friends. Walking, talking, nice and breezy, but that's not where the story everybody is good. Now you see, I can't stop thinking about you. Want somebody tell me what to do? Me, oh my, I've got myself a problem, and my problem is you, yes. And my problem is you, yes. And my problem is you, yes. And my problem is you. John Pizzarelli, it's been recorded a lot. I mean, a lot. For me, a lot. 10 times, maybe 12 times, something like that. I was thinking in the middle of that, as one will, during an easy song, of a song I really want to do tonight. So, the lead up to this song is that I went to Berklee School of Music and I wanted to go on the road when I was 19, 20 or something like that. And I wanted to go on the road with Woody Herman because everybody went with Woody then. Oh, it's great. And some of my best friends now were with the band then. But Chuck Andrus, who played with him, wouldn't quit. And so I didn't go with him. I went with Buddy Morrow instead. Now, Buddy Morrow was a sweetheart, and the band was very good. But it didn't have the jazz reputation. I mean, it didn't play jazz. It played jazzy dance music. It was good music, very good music. And when I listen back to it, I really like it. He was responsible for what. And I still want to treat it. I want a trio arrangement of that song just for my nostalgic reasons, for reasons of nostalgia. But I'm going to forget what song it was after in a minute. But I went on the road with Buddy Morrow instead. And years later, I started writing, thinking about it. And this is what came out. My chance to join a band on tour. I never had been on the road before. To pass this up, I'd be a fool. Wasn't doing much in school. I knew this was my first big break. To pass this up would be a big mistake. I longed to see the land, so I joined the band. Take a long ride through the night. The road is slick, so hold on tight. Trucks pass by with little warning. 5:30 in the morning. Playing dances in Midwestern towns for folks dressed up in Western suits and gowns. Drive from Texas to Alaska. Make one stop in Nebraska. Atlantic City, play the pier. The diving horse is wild with fear, but my metabolism slowed from life out on the road. Life out on the road. bars and cheap hotels, tiny rooms, funky smells, a band of gypsies on the road. Sell your body, sell your soul. Endless roads that never turn, never stop, never learn. And for lady friends, you got no time. Right there in your prime. The road trip finally ends, and you find you've made yourself some lifelong friends, but you've turned from a prince into a toad from life out on the road. Life out on the road. Chaotic and most unprosaic, but another little piece in life's mosaic. Maybe someday write an ode about life out on the road. Life out on the road. Life out on the road. Yeah, that's nice. That's nice. I'm going to take a little break here. Take a little break. I like that song. Full of good memories. Lots of good guys I knew on the road. Catherine Markey is still watching. That's according to what this says. Hi, gang. What happened to my... Okay, I'm not trying to do anything. My computer's saying, K Green, bravo. You obviously gigged in Baltimore a lot. Where did you perform there? At what time period? What other players? You know what the funny thing is, I didn't gig a lot there. I'm from Baltimore. And I played with one band in Baltimore, the Pier 5 Jazz Band. And boy, were they good. They were a Dixieland band. And I've listened to them now. They swung so much. They were really great. And they played a lot of Dixieland songs. But boy, when they played their solos, it was a good band. Good band. And I played over on Pennsylvania Avenue and North Avenue at a place called Wilson's Tishomingo Room. And I believe it turned into a CVS, was burnt down in a riot. But this was that was 30 years ago. And I'm talking about in the late 50s, in the middle. Well, no, I played there. No, I was quite young. I was 14, 15, 16 years old playing banjo and bass there. So I was 54, 55, 56. Then I played very few places. I would go over to Washington and play. I played with John Eaton at the Mayfair a lot. Played a lot of gigs around. Played parties and stuff. You know what I did? I played with Judy Garland in 1966. I left New York, came back, was staying in Baltimore for a little while, trying to find where my life was, where my head was. And I got a call from Mort Lindsay and Billy Livornia to play a week with Judy Garland. So I did at the Merriweather Post Pavilion. And there's a nice recording of one night when you can't hear the bass at all. But believe me, I was there. And Billy remembered me and used to use me. Jeff Barone. Hi, Jeff. How are you? Billy used me later when I came up to New York. He remembered it clearly. And sorry about that. I'm trying to... Steven, sounds great. Thanks. That's nice. Harry, walk the bass line instead. Of what, Ari? Antoinette Montague is still watching. She hasn't given up yet. Thank you. Let me see. What do we got? We got 7:50, and I got a couple more songs I want to do. Oh, I did tulips earlier. I did tulips at the beginning of the show. That's right. So it's done. It's been so long ago. And when you sing a bunch of songs, your brain gets fried and you don't remember where you are and what's going on. Trying to remember those lyrics takes the brain like a blender. I'm thinking of all those silly blender jokes with pink and red and a flamingo in a blender. Pink and white. Yeah, pink and red. Oh. Anyway, that's ugly. Forget that. Cancel that one. Now that I should be banned for. We said the word breast the other night. One of my songs has oh yeah. He was the most God-fearing boy who sought and never found it. He was beginning as well. He feared the pains of hell. He was headed for death. No, I didn't sing that. Somebody reminded me of that song. I got to work on that. God-fearing boy. I'll have to have that for tomorrow because I've forgotten it. It's about when I, during my teens, when I was either going to go into the priesthood or I wasn't, or I was going to become a complete atheist jazz musician. And it was just a big decision to make. Not the big atheist, but not to go, a lot of things to think about. And I wrote a song called God-Fearing Boy. He really was a most God-fearing boy who sought and never found his share of joy. He knew his catechism well and he feared the pains of hell. He was headed for damnation. The world is so full of temptation. Da-da-da-da-da. I can't remember. I'll have to look it up. But it's fun. Thanks for the background, Baltimore, Washington. Your history is interesting. Yeah, stayed there, and then I left Loyola College, doing terribly, which is now Loyola University. Went up to the Oscar Peterson School in Toronto, the Advanced School of Contemporary Music. That was when I was 20. I remember turning 21 in my apartment, my little room up there, December 6, 1961. It was cold. It was a miserable day in Toronto. So I bought myself a quart of beer and sat in my room and wished myself happy birthday. Turned 21 that night. But it was a great experience. Studying with Ray Brown was really great. Meeting all the people I met, that's where Mike Longo and I met. Mike passed away 2 days ago of a combination of health problems and the coronavirus. So that's where I met him. And then I came back to New York, left New York, went back to Baltimore. I'll finish with Playboy Club because that really leads into it nicely. I came back to New York, and Mike Longo and myself and Jimmy Young had a trio at the Playboy Club. 61, probably 62, maybe 1962. And I went there, and I was still very young, and I was not ready to deal successfully with so many young women dressed in little bunny costumes. So it wasn't easy for me. I found it very distracting. They finally put me in a little basket and put me out on 59th Street and said, "Son, you should go home and come back in a few years when you're ready." And that's exactly what I did. But here's the Playboy Club. Oh, by the way, it's on our trio record called Joy. And you should hear it. It's good. The trio with Tomoka Ono and Vito Leschek. I mean, I'm proud to say that's my trio. They may not know that, but they're my trio. Here's the Playboy Club. Playboy Club in New York City, 1962. Finally living in New York, it's my dream come true. Just moved up from Baltimore and just turned 21. My life has finally begun. The Playboy Club is full of bunnies hopping around all night. Young ladies dressed as bunny rabbits, fluffy tails so white. Their costumes so revealing that no secrets do remain. You play the bass, you slowly go insane. Insane. Life around the rabbit scene, as funny as it seems. Soon I find I'm talking to Bugs Bunny in my dreams. All those pretty creatures so close yet so far away. Life gets more confusing day by day. The pressure keeps on building in me as the nights go by. Soon I cannot even look a rabbit in the eye. So I go to a shrink and start spilling out my guts. He says, son, I think we're going nuts. I think we're going. He says you need to change the scenery. The Grand Canyon would be nice, but someplace far away from bunnies, drinks, and tinkling ice. There's got to be a better place for you, God only knows. Someplace where the waitresses wear clothes. Tell no one your problem, just pack your vase and quit. Zip that case around the base, pick it up and split. So I told the leader of the band I simply had to go. Packed my car and drove to Mexico. Filled my brain with desert sand and drove up to Pikes Peak. Discovered the Grand Canyon, so I hung out for a week. I wandered around the cactus desert, watched the cactus grow. Headed south to Mexico. Playboy Club in New York City, 1962. Finally living in New York, it's my dream come true. Just moved up from Baltimore, just turned 21. Ah, my life has finally begun. 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 Wow, I made it through it. Made it through it in one fell swoop. My wife made some nice spaghetti with clam sauce. Yummy, yummy, yummy. And that's what we do in New York. We stay home and eat. That's it. I haven't been doing too much of that besides staying home and eating. No, I haven't. I've been practicing the bass. And thanks to you all, and thanks for tuning in. My chops are not falling apart. And remembering my lyrics, and I'm reviewing all these songs that haven't been through in so long. Anyway, great to see you all. I'm going to stay here and just take a look at the. I'm going to read the messages now. I'm not going to play any more music, but Jan Greenspan. Oh, Jan, thank you. Thanks for that one. My brother and I enjoyed the show tonight. Thank you. That's great. Another fabulous hour. A fabulous hour. Thank you. I'm not making fun. I really appreciate it. You all can leave if you want. I'm just going to say Steve Bexron is watching on what do you call? Oh, and Tomoko says hi, Stephen. On YouTube, on Facebook. See, I got 5,000 friends on Facebook, and they tune in. Steve Lucas is watching. Justin Lees is watching. Hey, Justin, how are you? Aaron wants to. What gigs? Oh, Aaron, I didn't tell you about those gigs, huh? Tom Fittick is like, no, we don't have any gigs. We had one gig. It's coming up in April, and I just don't think it's really going to happen, Aaron. I just don't think it's going to happen. Ruben, but there'll be more. Jim Riddle is watching. Jim. A nice out-of-tune Steinway sing right here, Jim. Oh, there's more. There's even more. There's a lot of Bernie Feinberg. Hey, Bernie. Every night he watches. Hi, Jim. Christian Michaels is watching. Hey, Christian. Bill Crow. Bill. And now you're. We'll figure out something. A gold bass string. That would be nice. The gold bass string. I think it's a good idea. Jeff Link. Jimmy Migwandi is watching. Sorry to be late. I was Skyping my son. Well, it's okay. It's okay. You still have the attendance award. Neil Miner. Neil, oh dear, you should have told me. I would have tried to play more in tune. I did. I tried to play in tune anyway. Sometimes you don't actually achieve it. Bass and voice takes a little while getting that together. Hi, Bill. Tomoko's playing the room. She's working the room. She's sitting there. She's saying hello to all her friends. Tony Guitar, how about serving us some salamander pie? Oh, Tony. Tomorrow. Mary Reno. Hi, Mary. Stephen Styles Mulligan is watching. Styles Mulligan. Oh boy, the list goes on. Neil Miner, hey Jay, Bernie Feinberg, we are here. We are here again. You certainly are. Catherine Markey, high notes are over. Thank you. In my case, that's for sure. CJ Poole is walking. I wonder what is that Doug Poole from Sherwood Forest, I wonder. Bill Crow says, hi, Tomoko. Karen Levine is watching. Okay. Peter Welker. Hey, Jay, we were Berkeley class. I went there 5960. Peter Welker. Oh, Peter. Peter Welker. We must not have been close friends up there. I didn't have a lot of close friends up there. Russ Kassoff is watching. Oh, folks, you want to watch Russ Kassoff's live performance because he sits in his living room and plays piano, and it's really fun. It's really fun. Stephen Trusky from Salamander Pie. Oh my. John Funk. Russ Kassoff. Russ Kassoff says, I played this afternoon. Never play when Jay is on. Thank you. Thank you. Mike Katz is watching. Gary Haberman. Hey, Gary, how are you? Jeanette Welch, excuse me. Cole Rowland is back. Cole, I didn't know Jay went to Berkeley. I wish I'd known that when I visited the school. Well, what are you going to do? They don't know. Listen, they call me up for donations, and they don't even know who the hell I am. They don't know I went there. They don't know what I do. They don't know what I play the bass. What do I do? It's just give me money. I go, no, not until you do your research. Mike Harris is watching. Roy Hendrickson is watching. I mean, these people call them, and they just insult you. They don't know who you are. They don't know what you didn't know you went there. They don't know anything. Jerry Weldon, ladies and gentlemen, is watching. When he plays, a blue flame comes out of the horn of the center of the tenor saxophone. He plays, and literally blue flames shoot up. You have to see that. It's amazing. Okay, bye, Tomoko. Stephen Goldberg. Hello, Russ Kassoff. Ooh, Kuchi Sato is watching. Very nice. Mark Isbell's watching. Tomoka Onofana, wait a minute, she's going to say about hi, Russ, Roy Henderson. Yes. Howard Levy. Howard Levy. How are you? Aaron Weinstein. Oh my, I love that song. I wonder what song that was. Mark Hagan watching. Denny LaRue is watching. How are you, Denny? How you doing, man? Down in Florida? Okay. Thank you, man. Ken Levinsky. Kenny Levinsky. There you go. Yvonne Gregor. Ooh. Ooh. See who else? Kuchi Sato. Arnie Krakowski. Any relation to Jane, Arnie? I'm wondering. I know Jane. I work for her occasionally. We used to work a lot. But since she started doing all these TV shows, she doesn't like to do her show anymore. Tell her, Jane, time to do your show. Time to do your show. Well, not right now, but we'll do it. Henry Aronson is watching. You great bass. Thank you, coaching. Jefferson, Red Sullivan, thanks, man. You're welcome. Roy Anderson, Jay, that song cheers me up. Henry, I don't know which one you mean, but that's good. Cody Garrett is watching. Julian Fernandez is watching. I'm going to keep doing this so I get through everybody. Julian Fernandez is watching. Nicholas Ragu is watching. Vinny Cucho is watching. Maybe I can't. Maybe it's just too long. Ben Patterson. Thank you, Russ. Lobo is watching. Johnny Mathis, Michael Spudik, Martha Lauren. Hi, Martha. I guess I didn't get you at that time. Claiborne Ray. Claiborne, how are you? Claiborne, I'm back. Yes, you are. Stephen Goldberg. Yeah, right. If all the fabulous musicians listening and watching can get together for a group broadcast, wow. Yeah, we thought about that. We're thinking about that. Custom it, please. Ike from Nashville, great stuff. Thank you, Nash. Ike. Nash. Long time miss playing with you. Yes, Graham. Yes. I miss playing with you too, man. Janine. Janina, how are you? Janine Sebeski. Thanks for sharing your music here. Sending love. Thank you. Well, I'm going to turn it off now. It's just, I'm hungry. There's some very nice food waiting for me. I'm going for it. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll see you later. See you tomorrow, actually. I'm going to do this till all this blows over, and I may keep doing it anyway because it's good practice. It's fun, too.